Hello, I just wanted to show you a new idea I'm trying with some of my students, and you're receiving this because your child uses their computer a lot in class, so they use the computer to record their notes, and they're likely to do that in the exam. So one thing I find with this is it's difficult for me to keep track of their work, so it requires them to print things off or email things to me, and obviously they can upload some work to Firefly, but that doesn't kind of list it for me by student name in their order of notes. Also, what I find with students who use their device in class is that they end up with a very sparse exercise book with not many notes in, and then they have random Word documents on their computer, so it doesn't give them a coherent set of revision notes either. So what I've used previously and what I'm setting up with these students is something called OneNote or OneNote Classbook, which is available through all the kind of Microsoft Wordy items. So the way they should have all received an email invite from me to open their notebook, and I'll show you quickly how it works. Once they've opened it up, if they need to access it at any other time, they can either go to their email or to their OneDrive or any other Microsoft area. I'm going to do OneDrive, so obviously click in this top blue corner here when I'm clicking, that's the app launcher, and you'll see all the apps like Word, PowerPoint, etc., etc. And so if they click on OneNote, or ideally Class Notebook if it's there, if they click on there, it will open an online version such as this. But ideally what I want them to do is rather than working on the online, if they then click on Edit here, it will give them an option edit, it will give them an option to open in the desktop app, and that's ideally what they want to do. Now, a couple of the students have got Macs, which is not ideal, but if you go to the App Store and download OneNote or OneNote Classbook in the App Store, it'll make life so much easier for them because they won't be working online here, they'll be working on the app. So I'm going to show you the app version and how it works. So this is OneNote Classbook. So it's basically an online exercise book form or an online file. So what you can see here is I've got all of the notebooks I've got. So I've got a GCSE Geography, which is for my Year 11s. I've got a GCSE Geography 2022, which is for my current Year 10s. I've got a Year 9 Geography September 22, so those who started Geography in Year 9 in 2022. Now these will be quite empty at the moment because I've only just set them up, but let's click on the Year 10 one. And that exclamation mark just means that it needs to be synced, and I'll show you how to do that again. So what happens then is I can then see this thing called the content library, which is basically where I can put content for them. So what I will be adding in is each unit of work we study, and I'll put various bits of content in there. Now, there won't be huge amounts in here because quite often I might just put C link on Firefly because obviously I'll still be using Firefly to upload content in the resource area, but sometimes I will try and copy it across to here. So these are like tabs along the top. So we did a unit called Changing Urban Environments, so I can put all the work we've done there. And here is the unit we've done on physical landscapes in the UK, and today we were looking at coastal landforms of deposition. So I put the task for them, and I put some notes that they might need. Now, where this is good is that in their area, if I were to click on one student here, for example, John, he's got his Year 10 work with me, he's got his geography, and he will put each kind of page of work he does down there. So maybe I'll pick a student who hasn't started this yet. So what they will see here is they will see class notes and they will see handouts. So in class notes, he could change that, and we'll change the name of that to coasts class notes, because that's the topic we're doing at the moment. And then we can create another file divider, which could be his rivers class notes, which is the unit we've just done. But this is how it would work. And so our next unit may well be hazards. So you've got hazards class notes. So in his coast class notes, down here, this is his file divider, and these are all of his pages. So today, he was working on coastal landforms of deposition. Coastal landforms, deposition. And it's the 23rd of Feb. I always like to put a date on. And that will show up here. Then tomorrow's lesson, we might be working on a new topic. We might look at coastal defence tomorrow. So we'll put the title Coastal Defence. And the date tomorrow, we've got a double be the 24th of Feb. And so what he's got down here, then he'll start to build up page on page, almost like an exercise book of all his notes in order. So it will mean that I can see, go into, say, James's, I can have a look at his work and I can see lesson by lesson what he's doing and I can add feedback to it. What he can also do, what he will always also see when he clicks on his tab, and I can't show it because it's not the student view, he'll also, rather than handouts here, he'll also have the content library tab. So everything I'm doing here, he will also have access to, so you can copy and paste it across into his area, etc. Um, it's really, really good because everything works in it. If you're copying something from websites, if you're copying something from Mac, anything, OneNote allows everything, every file extension to work within there. So the benefits of this are that it allows him to keep his work ordered, or their work ordered, in kind of page by page down there. And it allows me to access their work. Now, importantly, James can't see the work that John is doing, for example, and Dylan can't see the work that somebody else is doing. It's only me who can see their individual bits of work. So I and me being able to kind of keep a closer track on them. So I just thought it'd be useful for you to have a look at this and see what it is, and to maybe discuss it with them at home, because it will need a little bit of input from them to set up and get used to it. It's something they will have to commit to, and it's certainly at home something they will now need to make sure they download once they're not on the school Wi-Fi, because the school Wi-Fi sometimes isn't great for downloading stuff. So if they can download this at home and make sure they can access it, it will make my life and their life much, much easier in class and help us keep a set of coherent notes. If you've got any questions about this, or you want me to go through it in a bit more detail or explain it again, please just pop me an email. Thank you.